the one, the only, Ben Sion. Good afternoon, welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun. Today we're doing Pesachim, Perek Dal, and Mishnah is based in Gimel. I want to talk about Mishnah Gimel today. This Perek is talking, Malkum Shanago is talking about Minhagim, that some places take a minhag not to do Malacha on Erev Pesach. Lifnei Chatzos, some Makomos are Mekel, some Makomos, right? Some Makomos sell Behemah Daka, some don't sell Behemah Daka. Obviously, Behemah Daka, there's no Isser to sell Behemah Daka, a sheep or a goat, to a non-Jew. The problem is that if you sell a small item, you come to sell a cow or a horse or a donkey, something that does actual work. And if you do that, that's a problem because you might actually rent it to them for Shabbos, and you rented it or lend it to them on Shabbos. It's still your animal, and your animal is doing work on Shabbos. Your mitzvah, not just that you shouldn't do work on Shabbos, also your animal shouldn't do work on Shabbos. Behemah Gasa, do work, do avoda, do malacha. They carry things, they do hotzah. You can cause them to walk to violate tchumim and hotzah. So there's the concept of shvisa by behemto, but behemah daka is not going to work, so it's not a problem. The question is, there are some places that they ask her to even sell behemah daka, lest they come to sell behemah gasa, and it's binding. The Gemara is clear that the makom the chumrei makom sheyatzim misham is different than the chumrei makom shehalach l'sham. Right? If your place that you come from, the minhag is to be makel. When you go to a place that's machmir, don't be makel in the place that's machmir, because again, the machlokes. Those is go do. You don't want to get into machlokes, right? But if you come from a place where the minhag is to be machmir, why is that binding when I go to a place that's makel? Because that's the place I came from. It's binding. The minhag is binding. Why? Ba'yachal dvaro, the Gemara says. Ba'yachal dvaro, meaning, even though I didn't say I'm being machmir, since my whole place has the minhag to be machmir, a minhag of everyone, or you, could be binding, right? As long as I had machshav, I had in mind to do, I knew what I was doing, so therefore it's binding. Chumras are binding. You have to be mater neder. This is in the post-game. If you had in mind to do a chumrah, and you want to release yourself from that chumrah, you have to be mater neder, because not on the right level it probably doesn't work. On the darabbanan level, there's still bayachal dvar. You're not supposed to go back from your word. And even though you didn't make any word, you didn't make a declaration, but your actions dictate what you're saying. Now, does this apply for anything? Like I mentioned, if you wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to jump up 100 times before I go daven, is that binding as neder? No. It has to be something where Chazal in a different place were mahmir, and you're extending a chumrah of Chazal, right? Where were Chazal mahmir? Chazal were mahmir, right? By behemah gasa. Behemah gasa is aser. Now behemah gasa, there's really no problem with behemah gasa. To sell a behemah gasa to non-Jew. Once I sell behemah gasa to non-Jew, it's his. He does malach with it on Shabbos. I didn't do anything wrong. But they asked for behemah gasa because I might come to rent, right? To rent behemah gasa to him for Shabbos, or to let him borrow it for Shabbos, in which case the animal belongs to me on Shabbos. Doing malach on Shabbos, I'm mitzvah and shvizis behemto. I can't let my animal work on Shabbos. So the whole concept of behemah gasa is already exera. So therefore, I'm just extending it a little further, and I'm saying, don't do behemah daka, right? Don't do a sheep or a goat, because I might come to behemah gasa. But since Chazal already, right, in their gzeira, they included something that wasn't really aser, but lest it come to something else, I'm extending the gzeira of the rabbanon. But just to go and say I'm going to jump up 100 times before I go down, I don't have to do with anything Chazal said. When Chazal already were nachas, they went ahead and they started to make a gzeira. By extending the gzeira of Chazal a little further, that's a neder, which is chal, because I am taking what the rabbanon said. If I just introduce something new, right? I say kosher phones. Everyone has to have kosher phones, right? Did Chazal talk about your phones? Did Chazal talk about what you're allowed to do with your phones or not? So am I extending something that Chazal already made a gzeira on? Maybe not. I don't think so. So is that binding as a neder? Probably not. You allowed to do that? No, it's probably Baal Tosef, right? But when I take a neder on something that Chazal already felt there was a chash over here, I'm just extending the chash a little further for me. That's allowed. That's not Baal Tosef in the Torah. That's actually binding by Yachal Dvar. There's a fundamental difference over here. I can't just add stuff on the Torah. That's Baal Tosef. It's a violation of D'oraisa. But if I extend something, Chazal already felt there was a chash over here, I'm extending that chash a little further for me. That's perfectly legitimate, and that is by Yachal Dvar Midrabban. You have to be mater and for that. I think it's an important distinction. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.